Temporary real estate professionals. We'll take care of you at Hobbs Homes. Wanna buy, sell, or rent? Just let us know. We'll help your dreams come true. Let's set a goal at Hobbs Homes. We got advisors that you can rely on. So let's go. Let's make those moves. It's the Hobbs Home Real Estate Group.
This is Jay with the Hobbs Homes Real Estate Group, and today we're in Northeast Washington, D.C. in the Trinidad neighborhood, where you can find homes that have property values ranging from $230,000 on up to $2 million. And we're going to show you a great property today. So we're inside of 1145 Neal Street Northeast, Unit 2 in the Trinidad area once again. So this property is a brand new condo conversion, has high-tech appliances, wine rack, touch screen, refrigerator, all of the bells and whistles that you could ever want in a property. Plus it's extremely spacious, as you can see right behind me. Great views and everything. All right, guys, thank you for joining us today at 1145 Neal Street, Unit 2, Northeast Washington, D.C. in the Trinidad neighborhood. This property is going for $800,000 in a community that ranges between $230,000 and up to $2 million. So it's right in that sweet spot. It's actively available, so we're looking forward to hearing from you and receiving offers. All right, so we just came from visiting a beautiful property at 1145 Neal Street, Northeast, Unit 2. And I have Justin Cotton here to talk to us a little bit about what it's gonna take to actually get into that property. So Justin, how do we get in?
All right, so once you've come in, we've spoken with the lender, we'll take a second and look at what your debt to income ratio is. That means we'll look at what your monthly income is and look at what we protect this monthly mortgage along with your debts to look like. For most borrowers, we don't want your debt to income ratio to be over 45%. So as long as all of your collective debts and the new mortgage with the condo, including the condo fees, are all below 45%, then we'll be able to get started. The best thing for you to do is to come in, start an application today, and see what we can do.
All right, what does your credit score need to be? What's the minimum credit score someone needs to have in order to move forward?
All right, so for JP Morgan Chase, the lowest interest rate that you can have for, lowest credit score that you can have for us is 620. That's gonna be the lowest amount that we'd be able to begin an application and know that it can start off and have a successful end. Now, I will say that for most borrowers, if you're just asking what's the best credit score that you can have, obviously, you know, everybody wants an 800 credit score. But I would always recommend you wanna be somewhere at least above 680 to be at your best, in a good position to move forward.
All right, thanks for that breakdown. So why is home ownership so important?
Well, home ownership is one of the best avenues that we have for being able to create generational wealth. It is literally how this country has been able to move from generation to generation. And you've seen property value increase exponentially over that time. Same thing in this opportunity here. You can own a property so now for $200,000, $300,000, and know over the past 20 years there's been consistent increase in property value almost since 1950. There has not been a reduction over the average amount of time. So knowing that you'd be able to buy a property leave that asset for your family to grow with, and then be able to leverage it for the opportunity that you have in the future. That's why property ownership is so important.
Okay, so what's the biggest myth about home ownership?
20% down. Usually we see that every day. You do not need to put 20% down to own your first home. In many cases, you can put as little as 3% down. We actually have a lot of home buying options available, a lot of loan options that will help you get past that initial hurdle and scare about that large down payment that you have to. Great thing is we actually have a home buying grant available for this property as well. As long as the property is a conventional approved condo, we'd be able to give an additional $5,000 to help out with buying the property. So there's a lot of avenues to get past that first hurdle. Putting 20% down should not be your first concern.
All right, that's a lot of great information. I guess the last question I would have for you is, why is DC property specifically so valuable?
DC property is very valuable. One, because it's the District of Columbia. You have here so many government entities that you see so many people wanting to be located in this area. Property values have consistently to rise for that very reason. You have an opportunity with DC to be able to leverage the number of renters that come into the area. This is a great place for your first home become your eventual investment property. You're going to have a lot of government workers coming in consistently looking for an opportunity to rent a space. Changes every Republican, Democrat, every election. There's always movement in the District of Columbia, so you always have a renter pool to pull from. That's why you have so many investors and so many condos coming into the area. People want to leverage it.
So Justin, I want to thank you so much for breaking all this stuff down. I'm sure it's invaluable to the buyers. Please get in contact with Justin if you're thinking about buying. If you are thinking about buying, please consider 1145 Neal Street Northeast, Unit 2. It's a great property, beautiful, well done. So again, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Jay.
All right, cool. I'm Jay with the Hobbs Homes Real Estate Group, and today we're in the northwest quadrant of Washington, D.C. in the Columbia Heights neighborhood, where property values range between $300,000 all the way up to $2.7 million. And we're going to be having Kalonji Foreman, which is the realtor for this specific property, to talk to you a little bit about it and provide us with a tour. So, Kalonji, what can you tell our guests?
Well, this property, 4101 Arkansas Avenue, is 4 full bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, 3 stories, 2,000 square feet, a 600 square feet roof deck. Amazing work of art. Originally started off as a 1-level rancher, and the architect came in and designed a 3-story property in this same location.
Okay, awesome. So we were just having a chat off camera, and he was telling me a little bit about his background. I thought it was really interesting. You mind sharing?
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
So I started off, my master's degree is in multicultural education. I'm a former educator, so we approach everything from a client-centered educational standpoint, just taking you from A to Z, from home buying to home selling. Been in real estate for about, well, my first property 21 years ago, so we come into this with a wealth of knowledge, from developing to land acquisitions to multifamily properties as well.
Awesome. All right, so I've had an opportunity to take a look at the property. I'm sure you guys are ready for it. You mind giving us a tour?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
So this property is located in the Columbia Heights area of Washington, D.C. right off the cusp of Crestwood and Petworth. So you're right in the centerpiece of it all, giving you a melting pot of cultures, ethnicities, generations, tree-lined streets, grassy parks all around, and your restaurant options and activities mirror that same diverse palette in terms of generations as well as cultures. So it's an amazing area to live in all around. Convenient to transportation. You have the metros on either end, convenient to the expressway, so coming in and out. So it's very much a perfect scenario to come into this beautiful home. It really is a amazing work of art that has been structured by the architect. The 3 floors, the spiral staircases, the acid wash concrete flooring. In the first level when you come in, the Yakasugi wood that is on the exterior of the property, the primary on the top floor that spans the length of the building, which you can actually break up into 2 units if you chose to. So from the top floor primary, you have access to the 600 square foot rooftop, which gives you 360-degree views of the entire area.
So Kalanji, thank you so much for showing us the property. Hope it sells quickly. It's actively available on the market. Please get in contact with Kalanji. We'll have his information posted for you guys. Thank you for watching. Okay guys, so we just saw an amazing property at 4101 Arkansas Avenue Northwest, Unit A. And I have Maceo Clark here from Eagle Bank, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how we can get you into that property. So Maceo, what's it going to take for our guests to be able to purchase?
Yeah, so thanks Jay. My name is Maceo Clark. I'm the manager of community lending at Eagle Bank. My NMLS number is 807001. And looking at it, it's a great property. This property is a condo, and based on the price point, the list price of the property, that is what we would normally consider like a jumbo loan, which would require 20% down. One of the cool things about jumbo loans or non-conforming loans is that the interest rates tend to be cheaper, but it will require a 20% down payment. And you're probably looking about anywhere from $40,000 to $45,000 in closing costs. So for a property like that, now there are different programs that could come out, but that's the norm at that price point. So you're probably looking at about $300,000 needed to get in.
And Maceo, thank you for that breakdown. I guess one of the questions I would like to follow with you is, what tips would you be able to offer for someone who wants to purchase their first home?
Yeah, there's a lot of good tips that I can give, but at Eagle Bank, I put a presentation together. We call it the 5 C's of home ownership. And basically, the tips I can give is 1 is credit. So you want to check your credit scores. 2 is capacity. The second C is capacity. That's your debt, looking at the debt, your affordability. Capital is how much money you have saved. Collateral is the property itself. And then we also go into conditions, you know, the process of purchasing a home. But those are some tips. The best one I could say is at least have a good idea of where your credit scores are, and then contact a good lender.
Okay, so what credit score would you need to have in order to be able to purchase?
So, you know, I won't really answer that because we have so many programs that come out. So, you know, some lenders say, you know, 620, 640. I say to all my clients that I work with, just let me see what it is, because there may be a program that's able to be out there to help you.
That's great information to have. But when someone's looking for a loan officer or a financial institution, what are some of the things that they should consider?
Okay, so first of all, they're looking for me. But nah, sorry, I'm just joking, I'm joking. But no, I think with any time you're going through the lending process, because it can be scary, it can be tough the first time, you want to work with a loan officer or even an institution that is very communicative. Do they reach it back out to you? Do they contact you by email when you call them? Do they pick up the phone? That is one aspect. And then I think also if you're trying to do any type of particular property or program, that's where the lending and banking institution comes in as well too, because some lenders know it, some lenders don't, some banks do it, some banks don't, and also with the loan officer as well. So that's what I would say, good communication and someone that knows the product that you're trying to do or what you need to purchase the home that you're trying to purchase.
Okay, Maceo, I have one last question for you. How important is it to shop for the lowest interest rate?
So good question. Interest rates are important in the home buying process. And if you shop, they always say Lisa shop like 3 different lenders to try and get the best price. So sometimes getting the lowest price, lowest interest rate is great. But with a lot of your programs for first-time home buyers and different programs or different properties, the lowest rate may not be there because you might be getting a grant program, or you might be getting some money, or it's just a little bit higher rate to take advantage of some money that can help you as a first-time home buyer. So you always want to at least shop and try and get 3 options. There is a rule of thumb, normally too, that when you're shopping for a mortgage, that if you let 3 lenders can kind of pull your credit within a 30-day window before it has any negative effect. One other tip in trying to get the lowest rate too, if you work with a lender, like I tell a lot of my borrowers, but if you work with a lender and they've already pulled your credit, any other lender shouldn't have an issue at least being able to quote you an interest rate because you already know pretty much what you qualify for.
Okay. Well, Maceo, that concludes this session for today. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate
everything that you're doing for me and providing this information to the guests that we have here. If you're thinking about buying, think about Maceo Clark over at Eagle Bank, and we'll have this information up for you guys. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for visiting with us. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode. I'm Jay with the Hobbs Homes Real Estate Group, and if you're thinking about buying, selling, or renting, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. Look forward to seeing you guys next time.